Good afternoon, Kmart shoppers. It's AMG Live with the Collector the Scallops Collector people. Steve, how are you?
I'm great.
I love the enthusiasm. I also enjoy that the possibility of us dating ourselves with Kmart shoppers. It's
Yeah.
like how many people know? I could have gone with Zellers. I, I,
Yeah.
I could have made it work either way. Either way is fine.
That was one of my
Works out.
favorite jobs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The old
Zellers.
Kmart?
Zellers.
Well, the
All my
skillet
family
restaurant.
photos were taken at Kmart.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised though when Target made its
Mm.
inroads into Canada, and then they bought up all the Zellers things. I was like, guys, they're all decrepit. Like most of them are terrible. Most of them look like they're from the '80s. Even 20 years later, they still look like they're from the '80s. I remember them from the '80s. My family got our first Nintendo Entertainment System in a Zellers. I remember it well, but it wasn't up to date even back then. And then 10, 15, 20 years later, it wasn't that much better.
No. I think they did a pop-up shop actually in the Bay.
Yeah,
They
well,
might
that was
still be
that
there.
was it. But yeah, because they still own the brand is still owned, so
Mhm.
they can use it. You can try to harken some nostalgia if you want, but I don't know how many people think back nostalgically on it unless you were of a certain age and
Yeah.
you were there when it was still working properly. But then
Mhm.
yeah, the Target version of it never worked. There were a lot of
No,
things wrong with that whole operation.
Yeah.
But anyway,
agreed.
that said, Sherry, how are you?
Couldn't be better. It's a wonderful Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday.
See, your checking of the calendar betrays the first part of your statement. But
Yeah.
yes, all right then.
It's a wonderful
Good,
day.
good to know. Good to know. There you go. Eric's got Kmart sucks, Rain Man. There you go. We got the quotes going.
Oh, too
See,
funny.
Eric will appreciate when the podcast drops tomorrow that we already recorded. Eric will appreciate one of the items in the shop because he is a big fan of TB12, and we've got a wonderful item that we will be showcasing there. It's going to be a good time had by all. Big fan. He's from Massachusetts. He's from Tom Brady's basically his personal hero.
Well,
Pretty
we
much.
might have a sale then.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, Eric will spare no expense. He'll give you both kidneys, just at the same time. He doesn't even
Tom
need
Brady, everything.
everything. Good afternoon, Jeff. Trainer
Hey,
Glenn,
Jeff.
absolutely. Hello. Good afternoon. Good stuff. So we're going to chat on a couple of things, but before we do, and by the way, you're more than welcome to ask questions, comments, anything you like, because you're participating in this conversation as well. We are going to do a couple of giveaways. Sherry already gave away a little bit of it, but I'll show it again here in a little bit, and we'll let a couple of minutes go by, and then I'll give you guys the hashtag, and you'll have some opportunities to take a stab at it for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. It's got some goat emojis. Very nice. I like it.
I
like it.
don't think I've ever seen that goat.
It's a pretty fancy goat emoji. Look
I
at that.
like it.
Good afternoon, Craig. Absolutely. But yes. So before we do though, let's quickly do a thing. So now that we're approaching the holidays, still a little bit of time, but we're starting to get closer to it. So we've got, Christmas and New Year and Boxing Day are both
Mhm.
off in the store. New Year's is obviously an off day. All that's happening in the middle of the week, which is going to be a little weird,
Yeah.
on and then off in the middle of the week, but nonetheless. So make sure we note those days are off. And then also there is still going to be a trade night and card show. So can you give us dates and details, Sherry?
Yep. So the trade night will be still on the Friday, but it'll be December 20th, 5 to 8, and then the card show 9 to 3, Saturday, December 21st. And so it's our last show of 2024, and we're looking forward to it. So if you haven't booked your table yet, I do still have a few spaces left. I will be sending out an email in the morning as well, and just reminding people of what to do and what not to do. But yeah, you'll get that email.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. We wanted to give the dates because that is just before the holiday rush happens. So it's not right at the end of the month. It's actually just before that. So it beats the holidays. And then obviously Christmas and New Year's will happen right after that.
You got it.
I'm actually going to Kentucky from the 18th to the 25th. So if you have any Christmas presents, if you guys could all drop them off before then, I'd
Topanga
appreciate it.
cards. Topanga. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, God.
Blair, this is your last chance. Get on it.
Mhm.
We have an assignment for you.
Actually, Blair's never hopped on here. I don't know if he's feels bad because he's not on here, but we need a little Blair on this thing.
That's why I give him the morning show. I let it be the Blair show in the morning.
Oh, we might have to get him to do a little bit morning show host kind of thing. We might need a little different cadence. I might need the weather from Blair. I might send him outside to give us a weather report. Like I want some information. I want barometer readings. I want all the things.
I think it's raining.
Yeah, that'd be great. And listen, I'll take it, Sherry. At this point, we got to go baby steps, one step at
Yeah.
a time, so that we can flesh out the full morning show experience. Shoshana here saying, what will the car shows be in the new year? So I don't know if you have anything planned out yet, but the mall seems to be
Right
working well.
now,
But
yeah, the mall's going really well, but I'll be sending an email out. I usually send them between the 10th and the 12th of every month. But we always post, if anything changes, we always post it on social medias too. And again, you can follow along on our YouTube shows and you'll be able to get that information. So if anything changes, it will be noted.
sounds good. Yep. Dates and times and everything will be confirmed, and TBD. Once all that's confirmed, then we'll be able to let everybody know. So go ahead, Stevie. You look like you were going to say something.
No, I'm just along for the ride this evening.
So I might just have to. We'll just see. We'll see how the chat does. If I'm not satisfied the chat is participating enough, I might just get Steve to give us tragically hip songs at random. Just throw some
Sure.
out there.
I can do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Sherry, I got this. Like, we're going to slowly add more things as we go along. You know, the participation is going to be critical. Otherwise, listen, I'm going to have to start pulling up my bag of tricks. I got a lot of gimmicks. I got a whole bunch of them. You
Definitely.
guys don't even know. So Robert here said, had fun opening my box of cards, but I think I will stick to vintage cards. Greatly appreciate it. Well, good. At least you enjoyed the experience. It's not going to be for everybody, but you know what?
As long as you
A free
have
box is great. Free is a great price.
He,
So at least
he,
you're able
op-
to have some fun.
he opened it in front of me, and I will say, unfortunately, it wasn't a very good box. So,
I guess I didn't pick it then.
yes, we'll blame Sherry.
Mm,
No, I didn't pick it.
Oh, right. We'll blame me then. Sure.
I was going to say, pin it on somebody else. Let's
Oh yeah, I was Vanna Whiting the box. So yeah, that's on me.
There you go. Perfect. But nonetheless, I think at the price point, Robert, I think it works out either way. At that price point, you know, no harm, no foul. At least you had a chance to work it. Justice, doesn't anybody work? 5 o'clock is great for a live stream. I know. It is. Well, you got to remember, Josh, that Steve and Sherry are an hour ahead. For them, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So on the East Coast, yes. On the Eastern time zone, yes. We're at 5 o'clock. But you know what? This is like for your drive time on the way home.
It is.
You know, we have the morning show, and now we're
Wonderful
talking about
traffic
your drive. Yeah, this is for the drive home. You get to listen to the dulcet tones of Steve. Pretty exciting.
I've put many people to sleep with this voice.
Amazing. Sean says, by the way, love the hat. Are you planning on selling merch next year?
Good. Yeah. So we did the hats with Alex from East Coast Lifestyles. Very well known brand. Great guy. He actually opened up a new location out in Bears Lake. So if you're local, definitely go check that out. But we will definitely be looking to add some more items over the coming months with Alex. So definitely stay tuned for those. And if you're looking for anything otherwise, go see him in Bears Lake. They actually have a really nice spot open there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there a couple times, and in the summer he has Bud the Spud. I think he even has a little Airstream trailer set up where you can buy refreshments. And I know he's planning on growing the business. He's got some space in there to try some different things. But yeah, did a fantastic job with the warehouse and storefront there. So definitely for the locals, get in there to check out his new spot.
Very nice. I like it. Thank you for the question, Sean. Appreciate
And
that.
they do have a website too. If you can't get to the store or if you're not local, East Coast Lifestyle, check them out.
And we weren't paid to do all this plugs either.
We weren't. This is free. So if you're watching, Alex, thank you.
Yeah, Alex is a super down to earth guy. Appreciates where he comes from. So we always like when he comes in the store and look forward to doing more business with him. And he's turned into he's getting there. He's learning the hobby, and usually comes in once a week and tries to get something over on me. But we're about 50-50 right now.
All right, so it is competitive. That's good.
Yes,
it's encouraging.
Yeah, I enjoy it. We have some good banter back and forth, and he did buy a lot of his collection too, like kind of during the pandemic and that. So he bought some of his items, of course, when the prices didn't make sense. So I kind of enjoy when he comes in to offload them, kind of breaking his heart when I show him what that item he paid $500 for is now worth, $100. So, but he accepts the punishment, and it's enjoyable dealing with him.
They do actually have winter hats. We don't have the winter toques right now, but if you do go on the website or go to the store, they do have winter hats, and they're really nice.
See, I'm seeing so many potential merch ideas. You know, as we slowly expand the franchise, I'm seeing Team Steve and Team Blair. Hashtag Team Steve. Hashtag Team Blair. Let people make their choice.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Listen, I'm just saying. There's a lot of things. There could be an Alec Manoa tribute. There are so many little inside jokes that if you know, you know. Like right there, look. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That Brad would appreciate that. We could get him the shirt. It'd be sensational. It'd be fantastic. He would love it. So let me pose a
Oh my
question
God.
here. We've got two different items that you promoted that we were going to do as part of our giveaway. So we're still going to chat for a bit, but I want to give people the opportunity to start punching in the first one. So what I want to know, Sherry, is we've got a hockey item and a Pokemon item. So do you want me to door number one or door number two? Which one are we doing?
Door number one.
Okay.
What's
so
under
I've
door
got,
number
I'm gonna,
one?
So I'm going to start off with the hockey item. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what that is. See, I like this right here. Amazing.
I agree.
Sensation.
Completely
fine.
agree.
Find me a costume that fits. I'll slap it on.
There you go. I like it. So let me share what door number one yields here, just so we can all look at it together. So this is a set of 3 blasters. We got 3 Connor McDavid here. So we've got 2 Series 1 24-25 blasters and a 23-24 Metal Universe there in the center. 23-24 being the Bedard year. So we do have that included in there. And 2 Series 1 blasters. So this is going to be the first of 2 prizes that are going to be available. For those of you who are already in the chat who know the drill, I'm going to just repeat it again, just so everybody knows. What we do is I will give you a hashtag, and I'll share it with you in a moment. And what I'll do is I will activate our little drawing machine. And what will happen is we'll let it run for a little while. We'll chat. You got to make sure you include the hashtag. You can use small letters or capital letters. It works both ways, apparently. We tried it. So it does work. And then what will happen is one side decide that the music should stop and and everybody's got to pick a chair, and somebody's going to have the chair that is winning.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work. So that is the item that we're going to be drawing for. So let me give you now. I'm going to stop sharing that.
Great picks.
And I'm going to give you the first one. It's going to be hashtag East Coast. See, based on what we just talked about, it seems thematically appropriate that we would do hashtag East Coast. Again, small letters, capital letters, both work.
Yeah.
You were so close. It did start with an E. It did start with an E. So you
So
were at
close.
least, you were starting in the right direction, and then you veered off. You took the wrong turn at Albuquerque. See, Gotham's got the right idea.
There you go. Get your hashtags in.
Perfect. So far I've got 5 entries showing, so it is counting them up. So perfect. So good job, folks.
Perfect.
Yep. Small or capital, it does work both ways. So there you are. So we'll let that run for a little bit while we're chatting. And again, feel free to chat with us at the same time. Once you punch it in once, you only need to punch it once. Sheila's got one in there. Perfect.
There you go,
Good
Sheila.
job. Good job. So yeah,
This
as long
is
as
her
you
night.
got that in there. So yeah, I've got 10 entries so far and counting. And the rest of you who haven't had a chance, you're going to have at least a couple of minutes while we're chatting. Perfect. So let me quickly share one thing since I was going to bring it up separately. I was talking to Sherry and Steve before I started up. Obviously, I spend a good chunk of my time collecting, and they're working in the store. Sherry collects. Steve is the collector of the people, so you know that's his deal on that. So there's a collecting of sorts happening on the screen.
Yeah.
But I was actually showing Steve that I went and I like to pick up a lot of stuff on ComC because sometimes they've got some more obscure stuff occasionally come up, and I wanted to give them a little bit of credit because I do know a couple of the folks that work on the Canadian side of it. And they work very hard and they try their best. And we were actually, the AMG booth was actually across from the ComC booth at the expo, if you were there. And there's some friendly folks. I get a chance to chat with them from time to time,
Very.
especially when the show is on. Absolutely. Yeah, ComC Barry is a great guy. So, and I chat with a lot of the other ones there as well. So they're all very good. But what I was going to say was one thing that they recently released out on email, which I thought was really good, is if somebody asks for shipping and they use one of the tracking options, they've actually been upgrading them because obviously we're in the middle of a Canada Post strike. So I actually had one that was by Express Post, which is through Canada Post, and it would have been stuck in limbo. Now, it's not really their fault because they were already picking it when the whole strike started. Really had nothing to do with them. But they actually upgraded mine to FedEx. So they've started doing either FedEx or chit chats for certain parts of the country. And as long as it's not a P.O. box or a rural box, they are able to ship it out to those folks. So I'm just giving a little public service announcement. So if somebody has a tracking option available, they will switch it over to either FedEx or chit chats, which can actually deliver it to your door. So it is a nice service they were able to provide, which is good. I was able to get my items, so I was very happy. I got a nice little package. So got a mail day when right now there aren't a lot of mail days to go around at this point.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's true. Even with our eBay, I had a couple of messages today. So I tested a couple of packages out before I sent them. So usually I would send Canada Post for the lower end items. But so then I started using Chit Chats last week. I had a few that went out right away. It said 4 to 5 business days. It was actually delivered within 1 to 2 business days. So that was great. So I sent everything out. I did have a couple of messages today. Well, they didn't read the sign on the door. The office closes at 5 and they tried to deliver it at 7:30. I do apologize. I can't, unfortunately, control the time a delivery driver drops it off. It's happening to me with my own packages right now. I have a mailbox and I can't get my packages. It's 3 days in a row now they're trying to deliver, but they deliver 7:30, 9 o'clock. But just keep that in mind when you are ordering online. And like I said, we do have international shipments too. And they're like, hey, my package didn't go out. Well, that is our way of sending the lower end international shipments is through Canada Post. And of course, they're not going to Google, well, why can't Canada send mail? Like, so just, double check on that and be wary of times and delays if you are shopping online.
Yeah, for sure. It is, unfortunately, we are going to feel the pinch on it a little bit because at this point, even if it got resolved tomorrow, which I'm doubtful, the turnaround would be very problematic. I can say that speaking for Purolator, I had a package that came by Purolator, and they had multiple times that they had a disconnect. They had to do redirections. It took about 3 days for them to deliver it.
Yeah.
3 straight days. It was supposed to be delivered that day before finally I had a driver at my door, who spoke Spanish, and as soon as he saw me, he started explaining it to me in Spanish, which I understood. But at the same time, I was sitting there like, just give me the package, sir. Just give me the box.
And I could also say too, from living in down south, a lot of people down south, especially the deep south, probably have zero idea there's a postal strike up here. I must say, while I was there, I did not get much Canadian content on the news. So I'm sure Sherry's getting inundated with eBay questions because they simply just don't know. Although I think eBay, they did update their policies in the last day or so, but again, people don't always like to read. So anyway, have fun dealing with all those emails, Sherry.
Thanks. Actually, you know what? It's not too bad dealing with the ones for the States. It's just directly within Canada. But there's my doorman.
See, the dogs are struggling with the delivery as well. It's a tough time. It's a tough scene for everyone.
He'd be a terrible guard dog, though. He barks and then he licks you.
See, this is the problem: is that unfortunately, Steve, truly, the mail has gone to the dogs.
It has.
Alex Bradison.
Good segue.
Had to be done. See, I wasn't going to. See, I actually contemplated if I even should. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to. Why not?
Sure.
Indeed, Brad is home.
You are correct. Brad bringing pizza. No pizza tonight.
Yeah, Brad's waiting for some food to be there, so we'll make sure it happens. So I did want to share this one though. I did share it with Steve. I just thought we would get a kick out of it. So I mentioned before that I collect Mike Modano cards, and that's what I've done. But this one was more kind of a fun, obscure one, and I just thought I would share it since it's kind of more of a silly card than anything else. But it's something that only really a player collector would care about. So apparently in the early '90s, Roots had a hockey card series, and you can see from this image, it was basically meant to just try to sell, the NHLPA sweaters is basically what they were trying to do. So they got Modano modeling one of the sweaters, and basically that was what it was. It's got its own separate checklist. It's very straightforward, not too complex. It's got a little write-up on the back and whatever. But it's one of those things where these are not, they shouldn't be expensive, really. I don't know if they came in packs or if it came as part of a box set. I really don't know what the form factor was on it, but they're just kind of obscure. They don't come up too often anymore, so it's kind of interesting. But when I came across this and I saw it on ComC, I was like, I paid honestly way too much for it. To be truth be told, this should be like a $3 or $4 card, like tops, is what it really should be. But
kind of looks a little bit like you there, Carlos.
I don't know. We'll have to see with that sweater. Mike's got he's matching me with the hair. With the hair I got him, but Mike's got a little less body fat, I think, on this picture, a little bit less. So can't match him there. So it works out. But nonetheless, it was fun to have. It was good to add. Honestly, I was happy to add it to the collection. It's one of those things where the early days, I'm scratching off most of it. Like I'm into the nitty gritty of the checklist. So honestly, anytime I can scratch any of them off, I'm thrilled. So it's a good day.
It's like me with my Mew and my Mewtwo's.
Yeah, it's getting tough, man. It's getting tough. Or like Brad with his Alec Manoahs. It's just scratch one off the list. Never get old. So we're going to chat on a couple of things here. Anything you folks in the chat want to talk about? I'm curious. You've already got your hashtag East Coast ones. I will draw it in a couple of minutes. I'm going to give it 2 or 3 more minutes and then we'll draw it. But before that, is there anything that you would folks would like to ask, or anything that you would like to know about, given that we've got a fully functioning card shop? So we can kind of address any
Always
kind
a
of
good
questions you
opportunity, especially when we're live. We can ask away and we'll answer, hopefully.
Yes.
I like the way this was phrased. Madonna looks like a life-size Tom Cruise, as opposed to the real Tom Cruise.
I
Who's a
looked at
mini.
it quick. I thought it said half-size Tom Cruise. For a
No,
second.
the Tom Cruise is the half-size one. Madonna's the full-size version.
Oh, that's too funny.
By the way, my favorite thing with Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is a very strange man, just at the best of times, a very strange individual. I just like, though, that he did that series of movies where he was playing Reacher, where he was playing Jack Reacher.
I like those.
Yeah, they're very good. Like, to be clear, it's very well done. But I have actually read the books that the Jack Reacher things are based on.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that, so on Amazon, they've got a Reacher series that they've got another actor who does it there. The thing is, Reacher in the books is 6'5" and this gigantic muscle man. And in the movies, you've got Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher. It's like, you are not 6'5". You are not this gigantic muscle military policeman. I appreciate that you do your own stunts and that you're trying, Tom. But you're like Reacher's little brother. What are you doing?
In the series, though, the guy is 6'5". He's massive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
He's
in the
bigger than
series,
Brad
Steve,
Hartland.
in the series, Steve, that guy looks like what Reacher should look like based on the books.
Yeah.
So on the TV show, I like that.
Yeah.
It makes more sense on the TV show. So, any Christmas sales coming up? Well, I think it's a little early for that. I don't know if we've got anything on that one, Sherry.
Questions if you brought any pizza home tonight.
Yeah.
No
I
pizza.
think it's still too early for Christmas sales, Sherry. I don't think anything's been discussed or announced yet.
No. So we did just do a Black Friday weekend / week, but we will have Boxing Day sales coming up.
And we still do have carryovers. Most of the blasters are still on sale, actually, for the most part, even below our cost. So, and they're selling, very quickly. And also, I believe the Series 1 tins, we kept those at the Black Friday price as well. So we'll come up with something, but right now I think we're in a pretty good space right now.
And we do have all new discount boxes too. So all the boxes that are out right now are all new items.
And also, too, Sherry could probably speak on it. We did touch on in the podcast. Sherry spent an hour or so yesterday searching for Pokemon products. So we will, late tomorrow afternoon into Thursday, have a lot of products that we haven't had in a while. So for all the Pokemon people out there, check in the store and see what we have on the shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and a
I'll
lot
quickly
of
touch on
blister
it.
packs and stuff too. So they're great stocking stuffers, and I'll have a good variety as well.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, I'll touch on it since we did talk about it. So on the podcast, we'll do the little breakdown. I go through all the different sections and inserts and all that just to give you folks the usual. But this week is artifacts. So if you're interested and curious, it's 2425 artifacts is the hockey product for this week. And we do a little bit of a breakdown of some of the inserts to show off some of the items, talk through some of the pieces, the usual thing that you expect. So if on the podcast in there, but then, just so you know, it's this week is artifacts. That's the one that you should expect. And if you're curious about pricing or availability, just reach out directly to the store. That's always the best way.
I feel like you're anxious to get in here.
No.
See, Eric is asking if Brad still collects that bum. Listen, he doesn't collect Bobby Orr. It's fine. And by the way, that's mean. That's mean-spirited from a Boston guy. You should be nicer to Bobby Orr. Sean says, Steve, you suggested Landman. Awesome show. Sean appreciated your recommendation.
Yeah, love it. I can't wait. I get up Sunday morning, pot of coffee on, and just curl up at 9 a.m. and get caught up. But yes, very much enjoy it.
I'm going to switch out here. He's very anxious to get in. I think
He's eager. And we're about to do the giveaway. So this
I
is going
think
to get
he's
very
really
exciting.
excited to talk about
What are you giving him?
Manoa.
Something good?
I like Manoa, yes.
We're doing 2425 Series 1 blaster and a Metal Universe blaster.
We can't back out now,
That's giveaway
Hartland.
1. All right, guys. I'm going to jump out here, but thanks for having me. Don't forget to enter the giveaways.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Sheila's
So
in there.
Brad's-
That's all I care about.
While Brad
Hi, Will.
situates himself, I'm going to give all of you one more minute. we've got 16 entries right now. 16 entries for the giveaway. There are 23 of you that I see in my little indicator there. So that means there's 7 of you that haven't entered. Look, it's all on you, but I'm just letting you know if you use the hashtag in the chat, you have a chance. Right now it's 1 in 16 chance. So it's 3 hockey blasters, 1 of them from Bedard Metal Universe, 2 24-25 Series 1 hockey blasters. No Alec Manoah cards in there, but otherwise it's okay.
Yeah, did you see that picture behind there?
I did. No, Steve showed it off. Like during the podcast, he showed it off. I was very impressed.
I think I'm going to add some value to this picture.
Yeah, it can't hurt at this point.
Yeah,
it can't possibly hurt. It can only add. It can only add. So you got 30 more seconds if you want to enter. Otherwise, I will show it on the screen in a moment, and then I will hit the draw button. So that is your last chance and your last warning. So Brad, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, busy day today. Very productive. Got a lot of stuff done. We shipped out a ton of packages, so things are rolling along nice.
Very nice, very nice.
How's your day?
In terms of the expo stuff, most of the way through, part way through, how are we doing on that?
So we're just starting to get back TCG value orders.
Okay.
There's still like the odd regular order that's coming back as well, but we're into the value orders now. So TCG will come back first. Then you'll see like value 80 plus will be next, and then value 79 back will be after that.
Okay, sounds good. So here's a question from Sean. Is that King Kong Bundy behind you?
It is. I switched out Serena Williams for Hogan and Bundy signed, which is my favorite wrestling match of all time.
King Kong Bundy and Hogan?
You know, the steel cage match. Yeah, I absolutely.
That was WrestleMania 2?
It was. Yeah, WrestleMania 2.
So.
Now, in saying that, as a kid, it was the greatest match I ever seen. So when I went back and watched it numerous times, it's a terrible match. But
oh God, yes,
you're
talking
really,
about two of the greatest workers of our generation. But the thing I like about Bundy looks the part. He's this gigantic dude. But the thing is, he's a lot younger than people think when that's going on. Like Hogan is actually much older than he is, and it's like, wait, how old was he actually?
Yeah,
that guy looked like he was much older than he was, and it's like, actually, no, I think he was in his 20s when they were doing that. Which is to say, if Vince had maybe a longer term vision, he probably could have used Bundy for a couple of years in that villain role, you know. But you always found somebody for Hogan. You'd build him up to be this challenger, and then you'd move him down the card right away. It's like you realize a guy that big, you can probably use him for some other stuff in the meantime. Have him feud with Macho Man and some of the other people. Like you could probably do that. All right, so we got 17 entries, so let's do the draw here. We're about to give away some stuff, so let us do that. All right, so the hashtag we showed you a little bit earlier, I'm going to stop the little scrolling ticker because you have all had sufficient warnings. 17 of you have already entered, so let's hit the draw and see who wins. Good luck. Slowing down. Sean, look at that.
Thought it was Sheila.
What are you rooting for your mom? You are, right?
Yes. She needs it for a Christmas present.
There you go. So congratulations, Sean. You have to reach out or come into the store, and then you can collect your prize. So just make sure you do that, and then you'll have a chance. And ironically, Sean was the last one who asked the question, so good timing on that. Good job by you.
I like it.
Yeah, and then we'll share in a couple of minutes here. I won't wait too long because obviously while we're chatting, we'll have an opportunity. Steve, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want me to use a second hashtag, or do you want me to give the people that already entered? There'll be 16 left. We had 17. We're down to 16. Do you want me to let them use their previous entry and I can just redraw it? I'm going to leave it to Steve. Steve's got the power today.
I don't want to make things confusing, so whatever you think. I would go with hashtag Sheila, but that's just me.
Just slightly rigged? Just slightly? Yeah. Wow. I see how this goes. Interesting. Let me give it some thought. We'll get back to that one. We might have to have a powwow, Brad. It's interesting how that one worked out.
I know.
Yeah, so I was saying a little bit earlier, Brad, that we were actually talking some of the challenges that the Canada Post thing has provided. I did give kudos to ComC for actually upgrading for people who did tracking. They actually upgraded it to either FedEx or Chit Chats. So I actually received a ComC package today from them because I had Express Post originally, and they upgraded me. Initially, they didn't say anything. I actually just received the tracking number, but I saw it was FedEx, so I was like, what's going on? and then a couple of days later they sent out the communication. But I do want to give them kudos. It was a good proactive customer service move. So I thought it was very good of them to not sit around and wait, because clearly we're going to be waiting for a while, it looks like. So you may as well move the action forward and at least give people who already paid the opportunity to get their stuff.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing we're doing with PSA. We're not holding back anybody's orders, even if we would regularly shipped it with Canada Post. We're going to ship it with UPS or FedEx to get your cards back, unless you have a PO box. If you have a PO box and nothing else, then we can't use a courier to deliver to you, which we actually have one person. But I know FedEx delivered to Duncan Cronk lives in Grand Manan. I didn't know if FedEx actually went over to Grand Manan, but they do. So I think we can deliver pretty much anywhere.
For the most part, yeah. They're usually pretty good about it. There are a few limitations, but they cover a surprising amount of ground. So there you go. Congratulations. Yes, absolutely. Congrats to you.
Did Eric tell you? Did he tell you guys? I didn't listen to your Monday show yet, but Dennis Bonby was down in Boston doing a signing with Eric on Sunday.
Oh, I saw the Instagram post. So he had to acknowledge you. It was very enjoyable. I do appreciate it.
So I sent Bonby a message, and I said, please do me a favor and take that bomb out back and rough him up a little bit. So I'm not quite sure what transpired, but between PJ Stock and Bonby, I think they might have done a little damage to Eric.
Well, listen, Eric's building up his list of enemies. We already had, Mick Foley already asked me to take care of Eric. So that's all I'm saying, is that we had that. So that I did see that from Instagram. I did see that posting, but I don't know, Brad, you didn't get a chance to see it, so I want to share it with you. So I did get one other item in ComC as well. So I had a small stack. And Steve, I think you'll appreciate this one as well. I think you'll all have equal appreciation to this. I've told Eric oftentimes, Eric, unfortunately, is a little new to this hockey thing, so he doesn't know too much about the history of the game. Few people know that Bobby Orr actually started his career in the Chicago Blackhawks. He spent many years in the Boston Bruins playing in the minors, toiling in obscurity, really. But when he got to Chicago is really when his career took off. So there are hockey grails, and then there's true hockey grails. Just fantastic. Look at that. A stunning visage.
1976, is it, I think?
That's 76, 77. That is exactly what it is. Beautiful. And Eric, I showed it to Eric in our text message thread, and he was seething with jealousy, seething with rage that he did not have such a beautiful item. Pretty magnificent.
I wonder if he probably has that. What did I bring back yesterday for you? What's the term?
The Colgate heads.
Colgate heads. There we go. Yeah. I couldn't think of it.
Actually, they're kind of neat. We can talk about them for a second.
I just want to zoom in a little bit, Steve, just so it's easier for people to see. Yep.
So they're a little smaller. I don't know, an inch high, but apparently, and Bobby Burrell explains it better in his book, but I believe in 1971, when you would order, get a tube of Colgate toothpaste, you would get one of these little plastic busts of players. This is Ken Dryden. And I think there's 20 or 21 in the set, maybe a few more. And there's a couple short prints. I believe Rick Martin is one. And then Norm Allman. There's two Norm Allmans. And I don't know why Rick Martin is a short print. It might be because after issuing 20 of these, they decided, you know what, kids are probably choking on these, so we should stop making them. That's what I'm going to go with. But anyway, it's a neat little oddball set from the 70s. And, the set's worth a couple $100, but, Bobby Orr's in there. So, we might send a little treat down south, Mr. Sanderson to Orr.
See, he's very confused. He still thinks the Boston Bruins are an actual franchise. It's very disturbing. It's actually very deeply disturbing. But I was going to say, so Steve, one of my favorite things about that, so I kudos to you. Thank you for giving us a little rundown on it. And you're right. Bobby does like to talk about that one as well. That's one of the many things. But I will say, and Brad, I think you'll agree with this. It does say something about the 1970s, that they thought it would be a good idea to have a disembodied head inside of toothpaste. And it's a wonder we don't have more serial killers coming out of the 70s. Because it's like, we're going to give this to kids. Because really, do the adults want a little tiny bust inside their toothpaste? Is that what we need? A disembodied head?
I guarantee you that would have a lot of kids' mouths back then. I would have put it in my mouth right away. Like immediately. I would have. I would have thought it was like a breath mint or something. As soon as
He's like, is it edible? It's probably edible, I think.
I should.
It's
I
way-
don't know. I mentioned to Bobby the other day too. We were just talking about Needham and the app that he has, and
Mhm.
I said one thing that we should do on our podcast, either it's with me, with PSA, or with AMG, is kind of give a few more shout outs to Bobby. He's a wealth of knowledge. Obviously, he's a friend of ours first and foremost. But
And if you're unsure, he'll tell you. Oh, he will.
Yes,
he will tell you.
absolutely.
He'll tell Steve. He'll tell Brad. He'll tell us all.
Yeah, but it's true. There's
Much love, Bobby. Much love.
Yeah, there's nobody that I know that has the knowledge of the hockey memorabilia, cards, everything in general than Bobby. And when I started with PSA, I realized even more how many times, and again, I don't want to give him too many accolades here, but he really does deserve it. And because he's always there to help me out with questions that I have. And but with PSA, we use him as a reference point, and for an awful lot of like a ton of things that I didn't really know that before I started with PSA. And I appreciate everything he does, and we should support him and spread he used to obviously do his book, but now it's with the app Needham, and it's everything you possibly could need is on there, and we're a subscriber, and I'm thankful for that. So that's enough being nice to Bobby. But anyways, I think it's
going to say, I think you've done very well. Very well.
We're
And
plugging
the
a lot
important
of
thing is that
people.
Bobby was good enough to back me up on this, because Eric kept trying to argue. He backed me up on the support for the true rookie of all-time Chicago Blackhawks great, Bobby Orr.
Yeah.
Don't accept any imitators. Don't.
I love it.
Just don't. So moving on here. A couple of questions. By the way, chat, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I tried to give it to Steve, and he pawned off the executive decision. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this democratically. I'm going to allow the chat to make a choice. So I have 16 names from the previous hashtag that are still there. Now, Sean cannot win twice. So Sean, I'm sorry, you're disqualified no matter what we do. But you've already won, so congratulations. But we want to let other people have a chance. So I'm going to share with you what the second prize is in a moment. But here's what I want to know. Do you want to redraw with a new hashtag? It'll give you a fresh chance to enter. But if you already entered into the first one, I could just hit the draw button again with the ones we already have. So it'll be a 1 in 16 chance if we go that way. Or we could give you guys a chance just to punch in the hashtag one more time. It'll be a different hashtag. I'll change it. And then you'd have a fresh chance to put it in, and we'd redraw it again just like before. Your choice. I want some responses from some of you. So you let me know. So Jeff says, did those heads come off the top of the toothpaste? I believe they were just inside, weren't they? Something like that?
Yeah, I think just like a box of toothpaste you buy now. I think it was just sitting in there. But yeah, you would think it might, screw on the top, but it's just a flat
Or maybe
top.
inside a little poly bag or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be something in there. Maybe.
But I could have sworn it was a breath mint back then.
There you go. Rod's Prep Service. Is there an online form that needs to be filled out, or can there be if one's needed? That's a good one. Sherry was mentioning that we wanted to mention that. So do we have can you guys refresh our memory here on Rod's Prep Service?
You want to take that on, Brad? Sherry was supposed to go over that before she went to stir your meal over there.
I cannot say if there is an online form. I don't know. I know that there's physical forms that I see at AMG.
Yeah,
Sherry will write in the chat. Yeah.
And I would think if you wanted to request one, Sherry could email you one, that sort of thing. And most of it's like a drop-in pickup service. So the locals kind of come in and request a form and fill it out here. But Sherry can take care of all that.
See, I like this. I like where Craig's head's at.
Yeah.
Kind of liking that.
Actually, Craig, I purchased a really nice card from him on the weekend, and we're going to show a picture of that briefly. So nice to see him hop on board.
There you go. All right, you know what, Craig? I'm going to go with your suggestion. It's not active yet, so relax. Not yet. Hold on. I want to make sure I set it up. We'll get there in just a moment.
And what's this for?
This one, so I'm going to share what the item is here in a second.
Yeah.
This one is another little prize pack. So we had our first prize pack here. I'm going to give everybody a chance. So let me activate it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the second prize pack is. So we had our hockey here to start off with. And this time around, what we're going to do is we're going to be giving away this. So we got a whole collector's kit for the Pokemans. So if you are interested in the Pokemans, or maybe you got some kids, nieces, nephews, someone who enjoys it, look, it's a whole kit. You got cards, you got holders, you've got little packs, you've got a little album, a portfolio. This is actually a collector's kit. You're pretty much a one-stop shop here. You're ready to go. You've got cards, you got packs, you got a folder.
Is that an
Pretty
ET?
solid kit.
That's an ETV in the back.
Yeah, that's it. Look at you with the terminology.
He's got the knowledge.
Woo.
Hashtag knowledge. Look at this
Yes,
guy.
that is a Scarlet and Violet ETB.
The hashtag is going to be hashtag toothpaste. So Greg gets credit for that one. Well played by you. So that's actually a pretty good kit. Again, if you've got some nieces, nephews, kids, or if you like Pokemon, here is a full set. Like right now, you're ready to go right from the start.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sheila's
Sheila.
first on the block. Well done. It's a pretty good group here. So here we go. 4 blister packs, ETB 9 packs, collector's deck box, and a card album. That's a pretty good starter kit. Like that's a really solid starter kit. I got to be honest.
I like it. I like it.
This
Oh,
coming
Boyd-
from a man who thinks
Hatcher.
the Boston Bruins are real.
Boyd's
Settle down, Eric.
turning into a Pokemon fan now.
Yeah, Boyd likes to collect Newfoundland hockey players. So this is a big step for him. I don't know if there's any Newfoundland Pokemon characters, but what the heck?
Charizard.
Good job, folks. You got some entries in. So right now I see 11 entries so far. So we're going to chat for a little bit, and while we're chatting, you folks can punch it in. You only need to do it once. Once you've done the hashtag toothpaste, you're good to go. Small letters or big letters, both count. The system will read it. So it is already counting your entries as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. So anything interesting on your end of the world? Obviously, you're working a lot of stuff with PSA, Brad. But anything interesting for Collector Brad lately, or how are we doing with that?
What have I? I know something that came out. I think it came out recently, but the new Downtowns in WWE. Have you seen them?
Yeah, they're in a product called 3 Count. Yeah.
That's it. So I just started following. They look I really like the look of them. So I'm just kind of seeing how the market unfolds on it. I bid on, I think, the Ultimate Warrior, Roddy Piper, Hogan, but they'll settle in. The price will come down, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they're starting off really high. They are
Yeah.
nice cards for what they are. So I want to make sure. So Doug and Rick, I want to make sure you both get a chance here. So Doug, include a hashtag before the toothpaste, and for Rick, move the hashtag to the beginning of it.
Right.
Make sure you do that. That way you get your shot. I want you both to have a fair crack at this with like everybody else. Just make sure you got to copy exactly what's showing on the scrolling there. So make sure you do that, and that way it'll be counted. Because I think if you put it on the wrong side, it won't count it. So I want to make sure you get a shot. I did mention a little earlier that I did get some of the ComC stuff. This one is actually one that I got that actually I was able to use the proceeds of a ComC sale. And I actually like these. If you remember these, you remember the Beehive Remarkable Matted Materials?
Yeah.
So these ones are nice, and these are numbered to 15. So I was actually able to get that with the proceeds of a different sale. So I had actually got some stuff on ePack, pulled a nice card, sold the card, and then bought this with the proceeds. So basically, it took care of it for me.
Carlos, have you ever met Mike Badano? And secondly, when you met him, told him how much you love him? Because I have met him. And Steve, to tell you how much I love Mike Badano, Brad actually arranged an opportunity to meet Mike Badano in a separate occasion, and Carlos was sleeping, so he stayed in bed.
I was so proud.
Fandom has limits, Steve. Fandom has limits, Steve. This isn't Topanga. I'm not getting out of bed. It's in the morning. Carlos has standards. He's got things to do, like sleep.
That's what he said too. I had it lined up so I could meet him when he was doing the autograph signing out back and hang out with him.
That's a true story. It's your story.
I was like, I don't start before noon on Expo.
Yeah, I don't do mornings. I do mornings when I'm paid. When I'm compensated. It's called work. When I go to work, they expect me to be there in the morning, so I will.
Now, if it was Britt Baker, there might be this might.
Well, that's a different conversation.
That's a different story, right?
I'm using the Topanga clause. That's the Topanga defense. So you got to do what you got to do. But the point is, like, listen, Mike was my favorite hockey player, but Steve, I'm not getting up for that.
Yeah. Did we do another segment on Steve's picks?
Oh, for media picks, we have not yet. We did get a thank you to his previous pick. We did get that. That was part of it. So I don't know if you got another recommendation for us, Steve. If you got one.
My pick for what?
We do.
My TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you had your media pick
Well,
that you got an
well,
appreciation for last time.
I was told by another good guy, Brian Fancy, to watch the show Jackal. So I went on. He said it was on Netflix. I searched Netflix, and I went to Paramount. I panicked, and I messaged Brad and said, "Oh my God, I can't find it." And he messaged back that it was on Prime. And then I went on Prime, and there's like 7 Jackals. So I didn't know which one to watch. So I didn't know what to do last night. But fortunately, my Bengals beat the Cowboys, so I went to bed with a smile on my face. But yeah, I'll have to talk to Brian and find out where the heck he watches that show.
I just texted him just as a reminder. So my one pick for anyone that wants to watch a great show, 19-2 on Netflix. I just finished it off last night. 4 seasons. It's a police drama / I don't know, what would you call it?
It'd be a little risque at times.
Risque, yeah.
I feel like there's a reoccurring theme here.
Yeah, landmanish.
I know. But honestly, it's 4 seasons. It was a great show that I never heard of. It came out in like 2017 or 16 and had no idea. But the lead characters, I can't think of his real name, but from Letterkenny and Shoresy.
Yeah, it's a great show, and it's based out of Montreal, so the Montreal Police Department. Yes, I have watched Lioness.
Lioness is up there. Love it.
There you go.
And there we go. I just wanted to make sure we got our picks in there in case someone else throws something else that we might have overlooked in our scrolling ventures of 50-year-old guys that love scrolling for TV shows.
Well, this is you basically described the preoccupation of my parents to sit there like Netflix is running out of stuff. No, Netflix hasn't run out of stuff. You just watch a lot of stuff. It's a different conversation. Not everybody has enough time to go through every single thing that Netflix has, but yet you've managed. The only one that I watch semi regularly. I usually have Netflix turned off. I like The Lincoln Lawyer. I've enjoyed a couple of seasons of that. When they brought the new season, I was like, yep, let's flip that back on and let me watch The Lincoln Lawyer. So I'm looking forward to the next season to see what they do with it. So they had a cliffhanger, so now we'll see what they do with the next season. I've enjoyed, I do like the cast. And it's one of those things, I have to like the cast, because once they start doing it, if the cast is good and they seem to actually jive well with the material, then I think it's a good combo.
Yeah.
So that would be mine.
Speaking, I didn't pick up something new, but I found a box. I should show one thing.
You found a box. This is good. Boxes are good.
I didn't know what was in like this box, but I got a bunch from Winston, who I think Winston probably will be listening. But along all the like that's the Hostess Hot Summer Nights. It brought back a lot of memories. So all the chip cards. So Winston had a ton of them, but it's like the rock ones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Van Halen, Bruce
Rock album.
Yeah, like that one's called Hostess Rip into Rock. Then obviously you get into your WWE ones, which are fantastic.
Yeah, I was about to say they had a bunch of years where they did some of the WWE stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. I mean, he had an absolute ton. This one's pretty classic. The ultimate backstage pass from Hostess Chip. Some of those late 80s rockers. Like we get the
great hair.
Oh, yeah. Right? Motley Crue kiss. Anyways, that was super cool. There was something that I thought, and when I say there's a ton, but this was something that I found.
6 Batman Space Magic coins.
Space Magic coins. So, yeah, and they're like in really, really good shape. They're super cool.
How thematically appropriate, Steve, for the podcast that'll drop tomorrow.
Yeah. Coincidence.
Then my Sports Illustrated for Kids. The significance of that one is. Let me just open it up.
Oh, the tiger. Yeah.
The tiger, and it looks perfect. I want to grade it, but I don't want to. I'm so nervous to take it apart. So, but I then found some box bottoms.
He's got some box bottoms. There you go.
Lemieux.
Here's a good one.
That's a classic.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna dress him like that next Halloween.
He could have joined Medano on that root set.
I know. There was so
sweater
much
there.
cool stuff. That's fun. Love that from the expo.
Oh yeah, hacksaw.
Two
Yep.
brand hacksaw. But anyway, I found this little yeah, it was cool. Those were my Stanley Cup tickets from 2008, which I did the finals. Pittsburgh was in Detroit. We went to Joe Louis. Anyway, it was a fun binder, but all those little sets, I love those, the minis.
Sure, absolutely. Nice SI for kids and bad coins. Absolutely, it's pretty impressive. Well done. See what happens when Brad finds a box?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on there.
I know, and
So-
I honestly forgot about that one.
The boxes I find are way different.
There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw for the Pokemon set. So if any of you haven't already entered, a number of you have, I can see. So, but if any of you have not, you have to use hashtag toothpaste, like it's scrolling across the bottom. It is a whole Pokemon kind of collector kit. It's got a whole set. So again, whether it's for you or whether it's you want to gift it to somebody, it's a pretty good kit. So you can have a chance to win that if you use the hashtag toothpaste, and I'll draw here in a moment. So what I was going to say, Steve, kind of playing into what you were asking, I always, this is actually a conversation I have with some of my buddies that are player collectors that collect a lot of these. I think for some of us, it depends. Your mileage may vary. I think for some of us, the project has become the thing. It's actually just like, how many can I get my hands on? It's the challenge now.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Medano, but Medano's been retired for years. Like, I watched his playing career. I enjoyed it as a viewer. But at this point, like, it sounds harsh, but I don't care about the person. Like, it's not, that doesn't matter to me. Like, it's the same reason I collect Brett Favre. Brett Favre's not a nice guy. He's not a good person, but I appreciated his play on the field. I thought he was a great athlete, and I enjoyed watching him play. And would I sit down and have a beer with the guy? Sure. But does that mean I need to meet him? No.
Are you tired of collecting them? Because every year there's more coming out. Like, has your
No.
passion dwindled?
At this point, because at this point now I have enough where if I don't add anything, I don't need to. Now I can literally get what I want. The checklist early is just because I like the challenge of tracking it down, because again, it's not expensive stuff. It's obscure stuff. So that's the reason why it's still interesting to me to track it down, because I go, when the heck did they make these? And then I got to figure, like that Roost card, I hadn't even seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it showed up on ComC, I was like, well, let me make sure that's actually the thing that I think it is. So first I got to do a little research and make sure that it's actually the one that I'm looking for. And then when I see it is, now I get excited because I'm like, well, I haven't even seen what it looked like. I hadn't seen an image of what it was supposed to be. I'd Googled it a bunch of times and I didn't know what the picture was. So when I came across it, I was like, oh my God, it's actually the thing. So I was able to buy it. So that's what makes it interesting for me. That's what keeps it exciting.
Right.
You know what I
Otherwise,
like
otherwise I could have retired that collection years ago. There'd be no point in doing it now.
what a lot of people do, and I think, Carlos, a few guys on your show that are player collectors collect playing days.
Yeah,
Which-
that's a good
which I think
limitation
is
that you can put on.
Because that way you
Yeah.
can have some sort of an end to it, like because this
Yeah.
can go on forever, right? But just playing days cards. So when did Medano retire?
2010, 11?
So you go, from 1991 to 2010-11.
And it gives you a very finite number. Like, so this one here is actually from 21-22. This is actually still relatively new, but they use the old uniform on it. So I can pick and choose. I can be like, well, I like that they use the older Dallas uniform for the image. So they actually use a retro design and they use the older image. All right, fine. And the price on it was very reasonable. So I was like, all right, sure, I'll take that. But yeah, if they produce, I sometimes get a heads up because some of the folks at Upper Deck know I collect, so they'll send me an image of an upcoming set, and I'll get somehow a Medano picture will wind up in my Instagram, and I'll be like, They'll give me a little heads up. But if it's not interesting, if I don't like it, it's like any new product. If I'm not into it, then I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money on it just because they put the name on there.
Yeah.
So Gotham was saying the Sports Illustrated Kids cards, when cut properly, it seems PSA 6 as high as possible. I don't know. If we get Brad an X-Acto knife, and he's really delicate.
I know.
Who
One day I'll try it. I want to watch someone else do some, but I feel like I'll destroy it. I definitely don't. Do you know what else was in there? And this is not card related, but I found. And I'm going to show.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
I'm coming over.
Do you remember how cool those are with the? Did you put in the caps? This was my gun as a kid. It was at the bottom, and somehow I got. I've used this for Sherry in summer so many times. I'm just going to see how loud. Watch how loud this little sucker is. Sherry going bananas.
And it was the saddest day when you ran out of caps.
And you can, you know, that smell.
Smell. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll bring that in. Well, you got to be careful nowadays, but I just think this is the best.
Like,
I can envision Steve with that little thing there, and all of a sudden Blair's like looking away, doing something. All of a sudden,
I want to wear it in my hip. Well,
Like if you come up behind someone and you do that, like it's so loud.
that's what I'm saying, Brad. That's what I'm
Oh yeah, Blair's gonna get it tomorrow. I'll bring it in, Steve.
perfect.
There you go. See, a plan has come together. All right, looks like we got a couple more viewers. So, folks, I'll give you guys one last chance here, just since we got a couple of additional folks that popped in. So I'll show it one more time, just so folks can see it. This is the prize pack that hashtag toothpaste is for. If you are interested in getting that, you can you'll be able to contact the store and get your hands on it. But it's a whole kit. If you've got someone that likes Pokemon in your life, or you like it yourself, it's a whole collector's kit with a little album, a portfolio, packs, all kinds of stuff in there. It's pretty cool. But you have to use hashtag toothpaste. And while Brad's playing with his cap gun,
I'm so excited. Oh yeah, I found those too. Like that was a while ago. That's what I see. Sean just said. Remember the red rolls of caps? If you scratch them with your finger, like the fire goes off them.
Oh, yeah. I'm grabbing 2 big arch sandwiches and I'm on my way over.
Oh man.
see, Steve, and you're questioning the entertainment value of other people.
Sorry, that is so much fun. I'll bring this in tomorrow. I just
It can be very dangerous. I can see nothing that could possibly go wrong.
Sean,
Somebody better have a camera. We're going to need it for the content.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, so here we go. All right, so this is your last chance if you haven't already punched it in. Otherwise, we're going to go with the 16 entries we have. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds if you haven't already used it. He got it from the box. Brad's got boxes of stuff.
Honestly, it was it. I remember these were in some collection 10, 15 years ago, and I kept them. I'll bring them in, Sean, if you want to have there's a bunch of rolls. I'll give you a little roll of them.
It is scary, the thing that Brad finds in there in boxes there. So Yana got it in entry right at the end. Perfect. All right, so here we go. So you ready, Brad? We're going to draw one more time here to give away that Pokemon collector set. Good luck to all involved. All right, so Robin is the winner. There you go. Congratulations.
Sweet.
With the confetti and everything.
Nice win. Congratulations.
Indeed, indeed. Good job. Yeah, so you can see that you can actually win multiple times. Sherry's put no restriction on it. We ask, and if it changes, we'll let you know. But otherwise, no. If you're around and you're watching it live, you get a chance. So, and everybody who enters gets a shot. We run it there. You get a chance to see it, and you see whatever happens, happens. We've had a couple different winners, and that's always good. So, congrats to you. Absolutely.
Awesome.
But yeah, we'll see. So, quick question for you, Brad. Let's finish off on this, and this will be kind of my question to you. Obviously, we still got a little time left before. Brad, if you had your chance to get the direct line to Santa Claus, what is Collector Brad getting under the tree?
Huh.
I posed the question to the chat as well. You can ask for whatever you like. What are we getting? What's going on under the tree?
Do you know what I think? Maybe that new Panini WWE product that you said. What was the name of it again?
It's called 3 Count.
3 Count. Maybe a couple boxes of that would be awful fun to open up. I don't know. Steve,
Part of me would be so excited if the Gobbledygooker was in that checklist.
Yeah.
See, Steve doesn't know what that is, but just trust me. It would be funny. It would be hysterically funny, and trust me, you would appreciate it. The Gobbledygooker. Good times. Yep. Unfortunately, you were a little late on this one. You'll have to come back for a future one. So this time around, I don't know if they're on delay or not, but nonetheless, you have to be on time, because we give plenty of chances to make sure you put in your entry. But yeah, that would have counted as an entry, but a little bit behind the times there. A decent NHL team in Detroit again. There you go. Jeff's got a very specific request. So for Christmas, Jeff wants a competent NHL team in Detroit. There you go.
I don't know what they got to do, eh?
What are we getting, Steve? Are we getting the Topanga card? Are we getting scallops? Are we getting more ways to torture Blair? What are we getting?
Yeah, definitely scallops.
Mm-hmm.
Those can go in my stocking though.
That's fair. Sure.
What would I like? I'm a pretty simple guy. Like, I like man-made underwear. Brad turned me onto those about a year ago, and love them, guys. I think we plugged like 3 or 4 businesses and people.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like, are you guys angling for the sponsorships? Because look, I'm for it. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. If that's what you want to do. Like, it's fine.
I think so, but yeah, sometimes I have to check to see if I'm wearing anything. They fit that well. So definitely, probably a 3-pack of those because I'm getting a little low. Yeah, just pretty simple guy. I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to heading down south to seeing my visiting with my kids and seeing some old friends there. So probably have a couple adult beverages while I'm down there, and but yeah, just I'm easy, and a few things other wishes I just can't ask for live on the air. So.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's based on the direction this was going. It sounded to me like some of them are off-air requests. You put them in writing and just hand it off. That's what I think happens. See, Brad, for me, it would just be as simple as I want to go back to Vegas, and I want to basically redo some of the stuff I did the last time I was there because it was good times.
I like it. Like it. That's good.
Good times. Luckily, my liver I think still holds up well enough. So this might be my window might be in the next couple of years. I might have to get back there.
Yeah.
So good stuff. I think on that we have a pretty good episode. We were able to give away the 2 things. So congratulations to the winners. So now you can see when we've got that. We'll always let Sherry will make the selections, and this is 2 pretty good prizes. These are 2 pretty solid prizes. I was very impressed. And thank you all for the participation. So some good chat. But again, feel free when you do come by to participate in the chat. We'll talk amongst ourselves. You're more than welcome to watch us talk amongst ourselves, but it is a little more fun when you participate in it as well. So some of you did, so we appreciate that. So it'll be for Steve, Collector Scalps, Collector People, for Brad and Sherry, both there. We'll be back next week with another episode, and then we'll let you know schedules for the rest of the year here as we start shifting over. We'll let you know the schedules. Tomorrow on the YouTube channel, there will be a podcast episode that will drop. As I said, Artifacts will be the new hockey product that comes in. There's a bunch of Pokemon restocks that we will mention. We'll list them off for you. There's a whole bunch. And then there'll be some more shenanigans and some more fun times. And more Alec Manoa. I can't see any reason we would stop. Can't stop, won't stop. We just won't. Anyway, folks, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next one.